Good evening, nerds. Welcome to another Legacy of the Void replay cast. Guess who it is? It's the goddamn barcode you see him on your food packaging everywhere. It's Liquid Snute. Okay, you don't see him. Okay, bad joke. Bad joke. Let's move on. Liquid Snute in the top left of the map. Love this guy. But let me introduce the other guy before talking about Snute a bit more. In the bottom right of the map, we've got Polt. Polt the Prime. Except he's not on Prime anymore, but I'll always see him as Polt Prime. Because that's who he was for the longest period of time. He's like Marine King Prime. It's hard to lose that tag, it just sticks so well. But Snute, man, I love this guy. He's like the friendliest guy in esports, in SC2. He's so friggin' nice. He's like the best foreigner. He's just a good guy all around. And got another replay from his ladder games here, which he gave away in his subscriber replay pack. You guys can subscribe to him on Twitch if you want to get your hands on that. Some of the best replays you can possibly get against the highest of level of players at the top of the GM ladder, Korean GM ladder as well, not just foreigners. With that said though, I was watching a lot of Snute recently on the EU ladder, and he was crushing Terran players. He was getting his dick out and slapping them around. Okay, Snute doesn't do that kind of thing, but he did it in a friendly, whatever the friendly variation of getting your dick out and slapping them with it is. I don't know what that is, but Snute does it. But yeah, man, he's doing well. He was playing a Roach Ravager based style with Infestors behind it, and that worked out pretty damn well. It seemed like he couldn't lose. Like every Terran player he went up against just didn't have a chance. So if he can do the same against Polt, then he's gonna do a pretty damn good job here. And I know Polt has been struggling with TVZ a bit. Just a little bit. I've watched a tiny bit of Polt stream as well. It's actually, he's got a really nice stream going. Usually the Korean Terrans, sorry, the Korean streams are usually like blaring K-pop, and I don't have the best setup, but Polt's done a good job, the lad, of setting up a nice stream without music blasting out, and keeping everything nice and tidy on the stream, and just making a nice overall stream. And he's been getting the viewer count to represent that as well. He's been getting like 3,000 plus viewers, which is kind of insane for StarCraft 2 just for a player stream nowadays. So that's nice to see for Polt. Snute though, Snute does play music on his stream, and the funny thing is, I'm normally a hater of music on streams. I'm not the biggest fan. I find it usually gets in the way of the game, but Snute plays, I think it's mostly trance, and I kind of enjoy it. I don't know what it is. Bit of harassment here from Polt, but not too much going on. Double Reaper, by the way. Usually you see a 1 Reaper opener from most players in the current meta game, or you see the 3 Rex Reaper, but Polt doing something a little bit different here, just getting the 2 Reapers, which I really like. I think you can get a lot more done with 2 Reapers than you can 1, making use of that new grenade ability that they've got. Little run by Snute here, seeing if he can find anything of the natural, but Polt is well aware of that since he saw them run past with his Reapers, obviously, as he had them on the high ground here, and he's not going to take any damage. Already pulled all of his SCBs away. What is he doing behind this? He's going tank, and he's going Liberator, so it looks like tanks and Liberators are the way that Polt is going to be dealing with this Roach play that Snute is going for, which is most likely going to be a Roach into 3rd base. Now, it's kind of a surprise he doesn't have the 3rd base yet. He's actually going for a little bit of an attack before he pops it down. It's a bit unusual. Usually you'll see the 3rd base come up and then the Roaches come out to defend against the Hellions, but this is a bit more aggressive, and he already has Ravagers on the way as well. Let's see how many he has. He has 2 right now, 1 more on the way. Not a massive attack, just a little bit of pressure. Another Ravager on the way, so he's going to have 4 total. There is a tank up, there is a Liberator. Polt knows exactly what is going on here. He just needs to, I think he needs to get that Liberator out of the position there, because it's going to get sniped by these Ravagers. Goes in for the repair, but a bit too late on that. And that's going to allow the Ravagers to push forward. Is Snute doing this very methodically, not just pushing in like a crazy person, pulling those weak ones back and then just pushing through into the mineral line. And Polt is now going to micro his tank to take care of this. Now, is this enough damage? Well, looking at this, it looks pretty nice to me. He's denying the mining time for a long, long time. He sniped a Liberator. He hasn't really lost too many units either. He's going in for the snipe on the tank now, but Polt picks it up. Nice micro there. And now Polt is going to start blasting away at these Ravagers with his tank. Now, while that was some really good pressure, you've got to remember, Ravagers are expensive. They're 100 each, because you've got to take into account that a Roach is 75-25, and then it's another 25-75 to finish off the Ravager. So while he did delay mining time for a bit, he doesn't really have a... well, I take that back. His third base is going now, but it wasn't going as early as you normally could get it going. So let's have a look at the situation. You've got 38 SCBs against 61 drones. Third base is up for Polt. He was already on 3cc, so... if it was a 2cc build from Polt, I'd be pretty scared. But in this scenario, he's got the 3rd cc coming down. He might be a tiny bit behind in SCVs, but the mules will almost make up for that. I once read somewhere that every command center, if you're just using mules, is worth 6 SCVs. I don't know if that is a completely true statement, or where I read it, if it was perfect or whatever. But it makes sense, and I've always lived by that statement, so... even though he's on 46 SCVs, he's probably got about 16 SCVs worth of mules going. A little bit more pressure here from Polt with the dropship, the Widow Mines as well. Not too much damage done yet, but if this Widow Mine... nope. Only hit the Roaches. Not too much done there at all. But now I'm going to pop over to the 4th base and see what he can get done over there. Can he? Nah, it's just 4 Marines. He doesn't even have stim yet. These aren't going to do too much, just being annoying, really. And then he's just going to pop between these 2 bases. Now, this is where it gets really annoying for the Roach Ravager player. With no Spire, with no Infestation Pit up yet, this dropship basically has free reign to do whatever the hell it wants, because as long as Polt controls it correctly, Ravagers are not going to kill it, Roaches are obviously not going to kill it, and it's very unlikely that a Queen is going to kill it. So it just becomes a massive pain in the ass, and this is the way that a lot of Terran players are dealing with the Roach Ravager right now. Heavy defense at home with tanks. Polt is a bit low on the tank count, actually, and then lots of drops going around the map while they defend with tanks. This is still fairly early stages of the matchup, though. He is building up now, more medivacs on the way. 1-1 almost done as well. +2 missile attacks from Snute, so it looks like he's going to heavily commit to the Roach Ravager base style. He's not going to transition into Zerglings or try and get up to Ultras super quickly. Although, with that said, I have seen Snute play Roach Ravager Infesta and into Ultra. It's pretty much his go-to style right now, and he does it all on range upgrades, so I guess I just talk some shit. Anyway, push coming from a Polt now. Combat shields about 20 seconds off, so he's timing all this out with the combat shields, and we'll see what he can do here. Gonna start taking care of that creep, which is pushed right through the center there. And he kills the tumors, and in Legacy of the Void, they do get pushed back a lot, or they do recede a lot faster after the tumor has died, so this is quickly gonna dissipate here, and he's gonna use that opportunity to sneak past everything. He's got this watchtower, and he knows his pathway is completely clear to sneak around the back there. Snute does have Corruptors on the way, though. He might not be expecting this one. And this is 2 medivacs. If these both go down without doing any real damage to the Corruptors, that's going to be a massive investment. Pushing into the middle at the same time, but there's way too much there for Snute. Nice control and positioning. He needs to deal with this drop, though. Starting to do damage in the mineral line there. Polt is coming in, going to target down that Roach Warren. Doesn't want any more Roaches or Ravagers coming onto the field there. Now he needs to pick up, but where are those Corruptors? Where are the Corruptors? The Corruptors are over here dealing with a middle engagement, which has now been mopped up. And looks like he got a couple of medivac kills with that as well. These 2 medivacs still on the side of the map. Is he going to bring these up? No, he's not. He's just going to drop his dudes out, heal them up, and then go back in. Where do we see the tech going for Snute here? Overlord's speed coming along. I would love to say this is for drops, but it's most likely just to spread overlords around the map to find drops and things like that. Polt looks like he's just going to keep going with this rally across the map along with a couple of dropships going around, picking off creep here and there. Nice little play. Always got to keep that creep down as a Terran player. If you don't, it gets out of control and engagements on creep are never ever good. Ever. Really. Infestation Pit, he's on the way for Snute now, along with another Roach Warren, so you can start refreshing. There's Roach Warren. Massive engagement in the middle. Sorry, missed that one. It looks like it was just a push into the middle and then a pickup from Polt, though. Not too much happened. And now he's going to get the hell out of there. Just needs to be careful of those Corruptors. Snute taking this moment to possibly run into a very offensive posture here. Nope, 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 nope. Gonna fall back. Alright, he's gonna fall back. Just chilling. He's on a pretty low Ravage account, actually. You see a lot of Zerg players go to a much bigger Ravage account than this, but it looks like just Roach, Ravager, Zergling, Corruptor from Snute whilst going for that Hive. Looking for the Ultralisk. The Ultralisk is so strong in ZvT right now. Terran players are struggling massively with finding an answer to the unit with the new Carapace upgrade that it's got in Legacy of the Void, giving it, I think, 2 more armor total. It does so much better against Marines and Marauders, meaning that Terran have to look for different options like Ghosts, Liberators. Maybe Polt getting a bit too excited here. Oh! Nice little we don't mind hit there. Now going to pull back. He's not in the best position, though. Needs to be a little bit careful. Snute is rolling in hard here with a massive army. The thing is, he doesn't really have any Banelings. So it's just Roaches and, oh, bit of a miss rally there. The AI messing up for Snute, losing a bunch of those units. And that was actually a really efficient engagement for Polt. You didn't really see that much of it. Like, it didn't look crazy, but Snute lost about 50 supply of units there for about the 10 to 20 of Polt. Obviously Roaches, so that's a bit exaggerated since Roaches are so heavy on the supply. Oh, he's actually going Broodlord. This is not something I expected at all. Usually Ultralisk is the way to go here. Multi-prong attack from Polt here, attacking at the top and the bottom at the same time. 3 medivacs worth of units on the bottom. 3 medivacs worth of units at the top. Looking for the snipe on the base. Does get it, but needs to get out of there now. Where are the Corruptors? They're coming across the map, but they are a bit too far behind to help deal with this attack. And Polt is just doing a good job of keeping the creep down. The question is, how is he going to deal with the Spire? I haven't seen too much Broodlord action in TVZ and Legacy, honestly. So while Vikings would be the option in Heart of the Swarm, Parasitic Bomb exists in Legacy of the Void. So if he tries to go Vikings against the Broodlords and then Snute just gets like 2-3 Vipers out, they're all going to get blown up by the Parasitic Bomb, so he's going to have to figure this out. Ghosts might be the way to go here with the snipe ability that they've got in Legacy of the Void. But a push through coming in here. Can he break through before the Broodlords finish? They're right there. Does he see them? He sees them. Is he going to make the pounce? Oh, they're just about finished. There we go. They pop. Is he going to go further? It spams his Marines in. 1, 2 goes down. 3 goes down. He's looking for the 4th. Can he make it happen? It looks like the 4th is not going to happen. Was that worth it for Polt? He got 3 Broodlords for about 4 medivacs worth of units. And I also think he lost all of his units on the left while that engagement was going on. So Polt lost a lot of stuff there. And what is his reaction to Broodlords going to be? It's going to be the Vikings. Oh god, I'm scared, man. I don't think Vikings are the way to go here. If they are, I can predict the future. Alright, I'm going to predict the future, guys. I don't know what happens in this game. I haven't really seen it. But Polt is going to build a lot of Vikings. Snute's going to build some Vipers. And then there's going to be a massive Parasitic Bomb in about 2-3 minutes time. I'm going to call it 17:40 on the clock. A massive Parasitic Bomb will happen where all of the Vikings die. Alright, there we go. Future predicted. Let's see if we get it. 17:40 is the time we're looking for. He's going to push across the left here. 4 medivacs worth of units pushing in. Lots of spine crawlers up for Snute. He's way out of position in the middle of the slow broodlords as well. Going to have a hard time getting across. It leaves them in the middle of the map on their own. That could turn out really nasty if Polt realizes actually pushing forward with the broodlords. The Vikings come in now. There's no parasitic bomb right yet. There's a couple of corruptors. And Polt decides not to go with that. 7 more corruptors on the way. It looks like Polt does get the snipe there. And the units mostly are kind of not really get out. Did lose 3 medivacs worth of units there, but he got the snipe on the base. Another base up over here for Snute though. Another one in the middle as well. Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. Little attack on the left side here against the Planetary Fortress. Looks like Snute will take that down nice and easily. Polt way out of position at the top side of the map, now pushing into this. Looking to take down Snute's other big base over here, which he will be mining from soon if he could keep it up. But he can't keep it up. Polt tells him that he needs to get some goddamn Viagra because he can't keep up his bases here. This is not good, man. This is not good at all. No mining on the left. No mining on the right. Bit of mining in the middle. But the natural's almost out. The third is almost out, which just leaves this base for now until the other ones are up. But same kind of thing for Polt. He's got the gold base going, and he's got this base over here, but the natural is nearly mined out as well. So both players on a low-ish income here, which means every unit that is built is a lot more valuable, because when you're losing units on a smaller economy, they're just more expensive. You can't rebuild them as easily. Ultralisk on the way now. Very disappointed that there's no parasitic bomb come in. I was excited for my prediction of the 1740 parasitic bomb, but don't think it's going to happen. That's unfortunate. I wanted to be one of those future seer people who whip out the cards and tell you what's going to happen. I guess I'm just a scrub, guys. Liberators on the way here for Polt. Lots of them as well. 6 at a time. Interesting choice to deal with the big corruptor and broodlord counts of Snute. And I think it'll work pretty well. And especially against the ultras. Okay, he's seen the ultras. That's what's going on here. So he's decided to go for liberators against ultralisks. Now, liberators do really, really well against ultralisks. And they do really, really well against broodlords. They don't do so well against corruptors. But there's only 6 corruptors right now, and I think the liberators, as long as he sieges them evenly, then he can probably take down those corruptors. But obviously it's all going to come down to the engagement as well. Polt still on the left side of the map here, just looking to take down these bases. This game's pretty intense, actually. 3 more liberators on the way. I feel like we're building up to some conclusion here. Polt again on the right side, just constantly 2 different armies through the entirety of this game. Looking for the snipe on that base again. Broodlords roll in. Lots of transfuse on these queens. I think this is a bad idea from Polt. He's not even looking at that army. Yeah, he's not looking, but the transfuse is going to stop this. Snute at the bottom side of the map, taking on the planetary with a bunch of ultralists. That's where Polt's focus was. Ravage is in the back as well, but that instantly gets taken down. Losing the planetary. The liberators weren't quite in position there. And now it comes down to 12. Where's the Vipers? Snute. Where's the goddamn Vipers? They could be massive here. Just 2 parasitic bombs against this number of air unit. Look at this. We've all seen the parasitic bomb just crush face in the past against air compositions like this, but we don't see a single Viper from Snute yet. Please get one soon. Please. It'll help out so much. Let's have a look at these bases. He's almost mined out on that one now as well, so that's leaving this base, which actually has a decent amount of minerals left on it, and this highly contested top base, which Polt is just constantly attacking throughout this game, not giving Snute any breathing room to get this one going. There comes Polt. Ultralisks rolling in. Liberators setting up everywhere. If only there was a parasitic bomb. There isn't. There are, however, a shitload of corruptors coming from the back, but liberators are pretty good against their units, as are Vikings. And it looks, oh my god, look at that broodlord clump getting absolutely racked and quacked there. If he was focusing with those Liberators, they would all be down right now, but he's focusing on these Ultralists. I don't know, he should be taking down those Broodlords, but he's too scared of these Ultralists right now, moving across the map. In fact, no, he's changed his mind. He's going back to this base. He knows this is Snute's main base that he needs to get up so that he can mine. The middle base in the middle... The middle base will eventually mine out. Snute, however, going to take down this base, which means... Polt is essentially not mining at this point. Oh, he's got this one going. He's got this one back up down here. Landed something over there. Not too many minerals left, but it's enough to keep going on into this game. Liberators starting to blow everything up. Overlords going down all over the place. If he can find a bunch more Overlords, that's going to leave Snute's supply cap for basically the rest of the game. What the hell is going on here? It looks like big, weird base trade. What happens in a base trade? Terran usually wins. Polt microing like crazy, trying to take care of these Ultralists, and it's working pretty well. Ravagers coming in, Liberators set up as well. This is looking really good for Polt. 2 more Ultralists on the way, but they're just not going to deal with it. No. He really, really needed a parasitic bomb in that game to take care of the air army. The Corruptors on their own are just not going to deal with that amount of Vikings and that amount of Liberators once that AoE from the Liberators kicks in. But a really intense, highly multitasking game from both players there. What a great game. It just shows how good Polt is as well, just like constantly attacking on two fronts, like the entire game, constantly clearing creep. Beautiful play from both players. Hope you enjoyed this replay cast, guys, and I will see you nerds tomorrow for another one. Peace, guys.